Good evening. Hello, welcome. How are you all? Are you well? Good to see you. Welcome to the Dice Gods. My name is Hydra, and yeah, we're live again. I'm sick. If you haven't been keeping up, I have been ill all weekend. So yes, hello. Mike, good evening. Testing. You are always testing, my friend, and that's why we love you. Coon, I am indeed. Yay, Blissful Badger. Your mighty Dice Gods host Hydra. Need to get home to watch you. You choke. Are you out running still, machine? That is unusual. Nameless one, the fact that I remain breathing does not mean that the things you asserted on Discord are accurate about releases in January of this year. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to stop breathing just to prove you. I'm not going to. That's not a thing. Probably. It's probably not a thing. It's unlikely. But anyway. Psycho, hello over. Hello. Oh, yep. Yeah. Hello over on Twitch. The Twitch peoples. Good to see you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I just hit 30 followers on Twitch. Amazing. Simply breathtaking. Of course it's flipping cold. It's the winter machine. I don't understand why that's news. It's December, pop it. The fact you're out running and it's cold, is that really a shock to the system? Bless you. It's a good job you're good looking, because your brains are for toffee. Anyway, right. Now I'm going to do this. I'm still figuring out what I will go. So I'm still ill, which means occasionally we're going to get stuff like that as I try not to die. Hello, Blob. Papa Hydra's son. I've been called worse things than that. I've been called worse things than that today. I'm good. I'm good with that. Look, Eldfall all over. Look at this, all this Eldfall over here. It's amazing. We can even do this. Go, woo. Eldfall everywhere. It's great. Eldfall December. Where do I come up with these names? I'm not entirely sure. But yeah. Hello, welcome. So tell me, how are all of you? What's the latest? What's the greatest news with you guys? For me, today we were supposed to have the new releases for Infinity, and we're supposed to have the new releases from Warcry. We were told that on Friday. We were told what they are. But then we were told they aren't going to happen yet. So that's a video you're going to get later in this week. There's going to be a Warcry one. I don't know, there might be a Warcry one. You'll see why when it happens. But there'll almost certainly be an Infinity one. I have opinions. Shocking, I know. You wouldn't have thought it, but here we are. So that's coming up. But yeah, aside from that, I decided to get ill, because that's the fun thing to do with one's time, is to get sick. So we did that. And spent the weekend with most of no voice, with my beautiful wife looking after the kids solo, which is not, I mean, our kids are amazing, but you still want support. You need backup at the ages they are. I increasingly make what I call you more and more cringe. Blob, bring forth the cringe. I welcome the cringe. I am here for the cringe. It means that I, with the age that I am, can use cringe unironically because a younger person said it. I'm fine. I'm just going to dad it and make it awkward. It's fine. Englishman with Opinions, who also has a YouTube channel, Purchase thought, I know, you wouldn't think it, but here we are. It's just the world we live in now. It's just the world we live in. I need to get one of those Stream Deck boards so I can mute my microphone without having to go into the software. But here we are. I would give you 20 pieces of silver, but I only got bronze, but thank you, Psycho. That is incredibly kind. Thank you very much, buddy. That is incredibly kind of you. But Papa Big Clogger Slopper. Oh, dear Lord. I appreciate you. Right. I'm going to... Blob, for a second. Psycho, I'm like a kitten with bright, shiny stuff at the moment. Thank you for subscribing. You are my first ever subscriber on Twitch. Which is glorious. Thank you, my friend. I greatly appreciate that. Just have a beep sensor button. It's, yeah, but if I start coughing and dying, it's not going to go well. M. Nightwind, howdy Hydra, Eldfall, yes. Eldfall, and we're giving some of it away. To you. Well, maybe not, you know, well, not you. Behind, yeah, that person. There, not you. Hydra opinions are welcomed and appreciated. Well, it depends what they are. Vincent, hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see you, buddy. Welcome. What? Thank you, Blob. Thank you for subscribing on Twitch. How many places do you intend to subscribe? I appreciate it, but that's amazing. I have a hype train. I have so much to learn about Twitch. I'm not entirely sure what that is, but it sounds very exciting. I am excited. So anyway, what did you miss? So far I've coughed twice, and I've got a subscriber, and I've got 2 subscribers over on Twitch. So that's been amazing. That's pretty... I'm furiously searching for your Gnomely fans. I don't have a Gnomely fans. I have an Only Dice. Very different thing. Attending the Dice God sermon. Hallelujah, praise be to me. In fact, hail Hydra. It just writes itself. So, choo choo indeed. So. What are we going to do tonight? What's hype train? I don't understand what hype trains are, and I'm very confused. I don't do feet pics. I don't do clog pics. How am I just... Oh, God. Right, I'm too ill for this already. Clearly, I am too ill for this. We have a narrative campaign starting in January that I'm running locally. Good evening, Sven. Good evening, fellow fans of Tiny Violent Minis. I saw what you did at the tournament. I don't think violence quite covers it, Poppet. I think there were war crimes, and I think you laughed while you did it, because I saw you. In a good way. I showed you my clogs, please respond. I can't. I'm not going to. I'm not going there. Wait till you see my early mid... Yeah, I can imagine, Psycho. You've already given me hints. I feel dirty. What's your shoe size? 1 Hydra. That's my exact shoe size. There we go. So what we can do tonight, catch up, chat, see how long my voice lasts, which is the exciting thing. I think we can all agree. Because over the weekend I was getting to a point where I was squeaking ineffectually. So that was exciting. I'm glad that didn't happen in the tournament weekend. That is, I wish it hadn't happened at all, but So while I continue to do that, we're going to talk a little bit. We're not going to talk about ketchup. Why would we talk about ketchup? That would be strange. Take a true Hydra, like a true Hydra, if you pull off one of your clogs, a new one forms. It's definitely a thing. It is definitely a thing. In fact, that sort of concept is where my nickname of Hydra came from, because it is actually it was actually my nickname. Am I still bullish on Warcrow? You mother... Mike, you have a gift. You have a gift. Woof. We will talk about that. I like kicking you down the road a little bit because it gives you less time to come up with something else, which I truly appreciate. I truly appreciate you asking the big questions. So we're going to talk about what's going on with Warcry. Cue Mike. We're going to talk about Eldfall. I'm literally a kitten tonight. My brain is mush. We're going to talk about Eldfall tonight. We're going to talk about what's going on this month with Eldfall and how you can bag yourself a copy of the 2-player starter sets. There's 2 ways you can do it. Oh, damn it. I didn't turn off the spamming on Streamlabs. I'm so sorry, Blob. You just got nuked. I don't know. I've got to turn that off. Me and Streamlabs are not getting on. Anyway, Doggo on cam, yes. Should we do Doggo on cam? Come here. Come here. I'm going to make you an internet star. Come up. All right. There. Look at the people. Look at the people. Yes. There you go. Doggo on cam. Is everyone happy? Don't sniff the mic. You're going to make it weird. Right. Off you get. Lie down. I know. Lie down. I'm old. My gaming time and buying is limited. I get it. She is very precious. Her name is Pepper. And she's over 10 years old. Mad as a fish. Still behaves like a puppy. It's part of the breed, so yeah. She was very offended when she read that you called her a he. She was very offended by that, clearly. Your gaming time is limited. Yeah, indeed. Indeed. Very exciting. My hype train ended. I don't know how I feel about that. Anyway. So, oh my goodness. Wait for it. Hey gods. Right. So we can talk about Eldfall. We're going to do a bit of talking about Eldfall and introducing it to people that don't know it already. Then we're going to talk about how you can get yourself a copy of the 2-player starter set. We're going to talk about what those are. And ketchup and mustard. Is this ketchup and mustard? This is Mortal Kombat. I am so confused. Why does ketchup and I'm so confused. Anywho, so we can talk about that. We can talk about how you can win one, and how that's, you can get it out into the world for you. Because I'm nice. Because I'm tight. Thank you. And what else we can talk about? Lots of other stuff that's coming out. We can talk about December on the Dice Gods and stuff that's going on here. Because it's going to be an interesting month from my perspective, because I spend a whole chunk of it in the UK, where I'm not going to be here. So I'll still be like Discording and stuff like that. I'll still be around the place, but I'm not going to be live streaming, and the videos are going to be done beforehand. So we've got stuff. Sector and Cyrax. Shampoo, I adore you with all of my heart, but that doesn't help either. Ketchup and mustard were the proto names that eventually led to Sector and Cyrax. Cyrax? The yellow and red killer robots. I think this might be a generational thing. I might be too old. The Rice Gods, are you announcing a cooking spin-off channel? Blob? I've banned very few people from my channel. Clog comments and random confusing things. Little stinker, Eldfall always looked appealing, but I cannot add another game to the pile. I'm going to tell you why you can. Am I enabling your addiction? Yes, I am. Am I doing it so I feel better about my own? Yes, I am. Here we are. 2 characters. Oh, right, I see. From the Mortal Kombat. I'm not that up on the Mortal Kombats. Or the Tekkens, although the fighting game wasn't really a thing. I needed bullets, basically, or lasers. Things that go pew pew and then people go kaboom. I'm there. Definitely. But the pokey pokey and the stabby stabby and the kicky kicky and the punchy punchy, I save that for Infinity, and then only rarely. I try to shoot things there as well. I'm a man of ranged violence. So yeah. So anyway, we're going to do that. It's going to be great. You're going to love it. Trust me. Very exciting times. So we're going to talk about all those things, and general hobby catch up. And we're going to talk about, as Mike said, am I still bullish on Warcry? Anyway. I'm definitely BS. You're definitely right, Shampoo. In so many ways, I'm complete BS. Does that model in the thumbnail have clogs on? Clearly. I can't believe you can't tell. I love the fact that the first thing that Overboard says when he comes in is a clog comment. It just makes me feel incredibly warm in my soul. Hello, Larkbeard. I don't understand that. Oh, you were on a call. Hello. Good to see you, buddy. You missed my hype train. I had one. I don't know what it means either. But it's amazing. I'm like all affiliated now on Twitch, which I'm still amazed by after, I don't know, 4 streams, 5 streams. That was so cool. So thank you for that, guys. That did mean a lot. And it is kind of funky. I've got to figure out what I'm doing about it. But anyway, I keep meaning to like stream on a Thursday afternoon, and then there's always something. I never quite get around to it. This week I'm going to. It's going to be amazing. Do I have clogs at home? Not for me, but for my daughters. Yes, I do, Shampoo. My daughters do have clogs at home. That is a legitimate thing. One of them was stomping around the living room the other day in clogs, and there was part of me that was tempted to send a photo to Discord, and I was like, I'm not doing that. We don't put pictures of our kids on the internet. I'm not even doing that. So Hype trade happens when one person subscribes shortly after another. It then grows as people subscribe. Think of it as a combo meter for subscribing. It unlocks temporary flares as it gets high. I missed out on temporary flares by one subscriber on Twitch. I'm not sure how I feel about that because I don't know what a flare is, but I'll find out. We're going to look into it. Good evening, Neil. Welcome. I'm glad your committee meeting is done. I'm glad you have a glass to hand. How was the committee meeting successful, I hope? Get one with the Dice Gods logo. No, I'm not. No. I'm not having clogs made with the Dice Gods logo on it. Dear Lord. Refresh you. Okay, well, so because Mike's asked a question that I can answer without causing international incidents, we're going to dive into it. Eldfall Chronicles, kids. We're going to talk about Eldfall for a second. Because, so, this month, there are 2 ways that you can win a starter box. So let's start with that, because that's the kind of, yay! And then you can find out why that's good news. So, Eldfall Chronicles has been kicking around for a few years now, and it's made by a company out of Slovenia, from memory, called Free Company. They are one of the nicest bunch of mammals I've met. The only nicer ones really are in my gaming community and on my Discord. Those are the only nicer ones you're going to meet. So, but they're lovely people, incredibly energized and excited about what they're doing. Now, one of the reasons that I sort of ran into it was because Eldfall Chronicles is very, very much, yes, blob apart from you. Because you're a blob, you're not a mammal. So Eldfall is very, very much infinity, fantasy, magic. That's what it is. It's like Infinity N3. And that means it's a little bit less polished in some areas. It's a little bit, you know, it's a first edition of any game. But there is some real elements inside of it that are just Infinity. And it means if you play Infinity, you can pick this game up really quickly. Is it skirmish? Well, you play with between 3 and 4 miniatures. I don't think it gets much more skirmishy than that, to be honest with you. These days we're leaning more towards 4. So it is very, very small scale. It's a 3 foot by 3 foot table, and games take about an hour to 90 minutes. It's really quick, it's really fast. Some of them are even shorter, to be honest with you. It's a really quick, slick game. So how can it be played? You can play it narrative, you can play it solo, you can play it competitive. In fact, this white and red box you see over my shoulder here is actually a tournament pack, because they have the whole tournament system, like Infinity does, where you get your tournament pack every year and you get your prizes in there, including a limited edition miniature, all that jazz. It's all the whole thing. They've come out really quite out of the gate, coming at head height, which is really, really good. This year we had a little bit of a lull because they were launching a dungeon crawler board game, which again ties it. This, if you know your Infinity, you know your Warcry, this is going to sound very similar. It's a dungeon crawler game where the miniatures can be used in the war game. So they've been doing that, and it's been dragged a little bit, but we're just about to get the next wave of reinforcements, which will add new miniatures to all the main factions. So this is a good thing. It's a good time to be talking about the system and all the good stuff that you can do with it. So, I love that. Just pause, die, carry on talking about miniatures. All good. Neil, it's all good. Yay, Eldfall. What channel do they hang out on? Not yours. The minis are also gorgeous. They are. We will talk about that in a second. Also, do you want key change in the shape of clogs with... I'm sure you can make key change with clogs, and I'm sure you could. It looks cool. It does look cool. That sounds awesome. No. Why do we need clog bottle? Oh god. Moving on back to Eldfall. So what I really enjoy about Eldfall is you have that range of different ways you can play. You can play it solo. You can play it cooperatively. You can play it narrative. You can play it competitively. It ties all nicely in like that. You have 4 main factions, 2 additional factions which are kind of smaller scale, and the main factions are very distinct in the way that they feel, in the way that they look, and the way that they play, which is also really, really important. You get cards. It's a D20 system. There's a really nice ebb and flow to the system as well. And there are some real RPG elements to it. So when you're building out your roster of people to play the doings and do the stuff and stabby stabby and zappy zappy, you can get mercenaries to add in there, you can get equipment to add in, so you can give like a medipack to someone, or you can upgrade somebody's bow or their sword or whatever. You can change the way that they play by giving them custom equipment. So it has that kind of a RPG type feel to it as well, which is really, really funky. So even if you look across the table and you see a miniature you've seen 10 times before, it doesn't mean to say that its build, its loadout is going to be the same. You then have schemes which are like sub-missions, because this is very much a mission-based game. You have schemes which are specific by faction. So they are very much based on the feel of that army, the way that it runs, the way that it narratively is expressed, is played out in the missions that you get for that particular army. So I kind of like that too. That kind of works for me too. So that's where we're starting. The minis themselves as well are all Unicool. They are all Unicool, and I have any Unicool from them next. I see this is the problem. I was getting myself organised tonight. You know, and you kind of feel a bit discombobulated and a bit out of it. That's how I felt. So. Yeah, I do actually have one. It's painted, but where did I've lost a whole dog. I had a doggo here the other day, but I don't now. So, if you can see, it's probably going to be a little bit dusty because it's been up on the shelf for a while. But this is one of the miniatures for Eldfall from Sand Kingdoms. They go together like an absolute dream. The detail on them is... My brushes cry, because I know I'm not good enough to do them justice. Hang on, wait a sec. Where's the doggo? I've lost the doggo. Oh, there's the doggo. Woo! It's actually a cat. Calling it a doggo, that's not fair. So you can see the detail on these things, and they go together like an absolute dream. They are stunning. Bases have magnet holes in them. Bases have little bits cut in so the feet fit in. The quality of life stuff they built into this system, even down to the miniatures, thinking about how you're going to put them together and how they're going to, you know, all that kind of stuff. I love it. It shows a degree of thought and consideration, which I think is very, very cool. It is a two-tailed fox. All right, all right. Also, last week Hydra brings up licking toads, and this week he was sick. Coincidence, I think. No, there's nothing to do with licking frogs. First it was frogs, Psycho. I was licking frogs, and it was not... never mind. I'm not even going there again. Still need a demo. Yes, you do need a demo. I keep telling you need a demo machine, and you never have one. The Sand King's Lady, well spotted. They literally build themselves. It feels like it. They do. They go together so easily. While you play with 3 to 4 minis, don't you want like a whole army or large parts of it? How many minis are those, or isn't that necessary? Come back to that shampoo. M Night, yes, they are all Unicool. Have read the rules. With the increase in points, it gets more interesting. Yes, I agree with you, Machine. It does. Shampoo. Currently, as it stands today, for all the main 4 factions, there are 6 miniatures available in total. That was 7. There are 6. God, I am ill. There are 6 miniatures available in total. You can get multiples in a list, but you won't necessarily do that. We're about to get another 3 per faction, pushing you to 9 in total. When I got on the hype train of Eldfall, I picked up the entire range for, I think it was a little over €200. It's a little bit more than that now, but it's not much. And you can kind of max out your entire army quite quickly, because there's not that many miniatures, because there doesn't need to be, because that's not what they're going for. This is never going to be a game where you have, well, what they're saying at the moment, this is never going to be a game where you have 10 or 15 miniatures. It's just not. That's not what they want to do. That's not how the system's designed. So that's a nice thing. Also, don't forget, for the people that have Amazon Prime, you have 1 free sub each month. Help Hydra to win to door. Oh my dear Lord. What does the fox say? By Eldfall, it's great. That's what the fox says, Psycho. And yes, if you do have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe for free to me, and that makes me happy. Yeah, it does. It makes me happy. New Oni, yeah, you'll be lucky. I don't think we're getting new Oni anytime soon. Hydra, the only man alive that can count to 20 on his hands. Neil, you can. Anyway, if ever there's a time that I'm going to swear on camera, it's going to be tonight. That is not a challenge. So, also, there's some really nice things inside of this system, especially if you like your fantasy kind of stuff, quite crunchy. Like, we're going to look at some charts for a second. Something you'll find in the rulebook. This is the full rulebook. Is you have charts of magic, and they have different like aspects, so different types of casters can use them, and all this kind of stuff. Where this is a newer system, you have got a degree of that looking stuff up kind of thing. But you have offensive and defensive, and you have buffing and debuffing type spells. You also have, if you're familiar with Infinity, you have abilities that have levels to them. Let's see if I can find one. Yeah, like you have here, this is Charm, and there are three levels of Charm, which different characters can have built into them, baked into them from the get-go. So, yeah, there's a lot of Infinity in this. How far does that go? There is a reaction mechanic. So when it is not your turn, when you are activating your miniatures and moving it around the board, your enemy can respond to that. There are some limitations on that, which is really, really cool, and I like a lot, to be honest with you, in that all of your people have... Oh, did somebody just subscribe? Oh, thanks, Lilith. When your wife decides to support you by using your family Prime to subscribe to your account. Thanks, love. Yes, you do find yourself funny, but that is very cool. And Zanuvian is also doing the Prime thing. Tycho, thank you so much for the tip. That's incredibly useful and helpful, and thank you guys. Thank you, Zanuvian. I appreciate that. So, each of your characters will have a stamina stat, and in your active phase, when you're having your turn, as it were, that's how many activations they can do. Unlike Infinity, where you pull that, with Eldfall, that is how many things that guy can do, or that girl can do. That stamina stat applies in reaction as well. So you get, if your guy has 2 stamina, he can do 2 things in reaction when it's not your turn. So unlike Infinity, where you're constantly AROing, you're constantly reacting to the enemy, with Eldfall, you have to pick your moment. And there is a lot to be said for baiting out those reactions. It's something that... Kaz, thank you very much. I didn't even see you were in. Hey Kaz, good to see you, buddy. You can bait out those reactions and therefore sort of get the enemy to a point where they can't respond because they've used all the stamina on that guy, and then you can go in for the kill. And it really puts an interesting dynamic in because you have to be really mindful of when you're going to do. Thanks, Kaz. Well, that's very kind. Thank you for subbing on. I've got 4 subscribers on Twitch. That's amazing. Thanks, guys. Charm, finding my natural place there. Well, stop it, you Neil. Honestly. So I see you're a rude above. You feel like you've gone a bit too far and you're going to bring it back now. I appreciate that. That's incredibly kind. Back to YouTube. Yay, Kaz. He didn't even speak on YouTube yet. I'm so glad I have only one faction. Such a weight lifted off painting a full army of 50 miniatures. That's the thing. That is very much the thing problem. The amount of miniatures that you can get, you can max out what you're doing with L4. You can buy the full range of an army. And then you can buy the like mercenaries. I've got some over my shoulders here. These are mercenaries. Should we do that? Actually, I can show you the cards as well. So these are Amazons. So these are mercenaries that you can add in. Sorry, they're neutral. And you can add those into a force and use them. So these are so new, I haven't even opened them yet. They've been with me for a while, but I haven't got around to opening them yet. So this is a system that uses cards for the miniatures. And one thing that I will say is they're very nice quality, very glossy. And they're actually really easy to understand because most of the rules are on the back as well. But like, it's good quality material. It's one thing, and this is going to please Mike no end. One thing that drives me slightly sideways about Warcrow is we use cards inside of Warcrow, but they're quite cheap. These are quite nice. They've got that nice glossy finish. Yes, they're going to go into card holders, but they are sort of a good quality cardstock in the first place. It's nicely printed. It's quite clear. There's a lot of information on there, I have to say that. There's quite a lot of information on there. But you see this kind of stat sheet, it feels RPG to me. It's kind of got that RPG type feel, and I love that. And you get most of your rules printed on the back as well, so you can understand what they can do, which is kind of cool. And if you buy a set with multiple, I don't know why I've got quite so many in this one, I'm sure there's a reason for it, but like, you get all the cards that you need for what you get in the box. So, I'm gonna die now. But like the miniatures, I mean, this is how they come out of the box. So this one's got a slight bend here. This unicorn material, in fact, that's a one-piece miniature. Jesus Christ, unbelievable. So what I found with this unicorn stuff, which actually Free Company recommends, is you can heat it and it will straighten itself out again. But these are one-piece miniatures. That's entirely unfair. Brand new out of the box. The detail on these will forever make my brain hurt, and my brush is sad. But yeah, a little bit of heat on there and that will pop straight again. Oh, such a cool miniature. But this is how they come out of the box, and as I say, they've got the little holes cut in and they just slot in, and then you're done. So I think this is the longest bit here is going to be getting the hot water to straighten that axe out. That's all right, we can do that. We can achieve that. That's not a problem. So, very careful lighter application. God no, I absolutely would not put a lighter near that. How do I heat them? I do it with. I'm actually a bad person. I do it with boiled water that I've let cool for a few minutes, just so it's still like still steaming, still hot, and then you put it in for literally a few seconds, pull it out, and it just bloop. It's quite amazing. The wonder of modern technology, I have to say. Are there backups for the cards in case they're damaged? Yes, we have a free army builder available on their website, so you can use that and you can print off exactly as you'd expect. And some of them can be downloaded as well. Certain cards can be downloaded. I think most of them can be, so, you know. Are the cards stock or are they PVC? No, they're card stock, I'm pretty sure. I'm not going to rip one and find out, but I'm pretty sure they're card stock. Just nicely done. It is a good question, Blob. It is a good question. There are backups. It's not... In theory, these will change over time, so having the army builder there is great, but it hasn't happened yet. Can be free access to the rules and we'll buy the rest. Yes, you can. And you can get free access to the rules too. So, they got your shampoo coming and going. I'm sorry, mate. You walked straight into that one. Goblins for the win, yes, because that's just your nature machine. That's just your nature. It has polymer memory, exactly. It's quite... The first time I did it, because I'm used to like warming this stuff and you sort of bend it and you spend half an hour and it sort of ends up not where it should be. There was that moment of like, okay, they say I can do this and it'll be fine. So I'm going to do this and find out if it's fine. So I put it in and I did the thing and it worked. I was just incredibly surprised. So exactly, Blob. The entire model range in a single box of goblins is very, very cool. There is goblins. Oh. Do I need to get a picture of that? I've got a picture of starter boxes. I'm going to get a picture of that and put that in the same place so that you can have a look. Oh God, shampoo's getting all available, which is nice to see. So bear with me a second while I get my stuff wired, because I'm not wired at all tonight. I don't know. I don't know if I'd mentioned that one. There. Go in there. Yay. Right. So I'm going to show you that one in a second. Ooh, that's my face. I don't like my face. Go away. Now, also to the Boxing players, keep an eye out on the Facebook Warlord. I know, but they put an advent calendar on it in there too. Yes, there's new stuff, new toys coming from their direction, but cool stuff. Little scrungy ones, big tough ones, and for the adult audience, the Goblin Conjurer. Yeah, she's very, yeah. Shampoo. You have Eldfall, yay, and clogs with pit. I cannot. Some days I just can't with all of you. I'm just exhausted. I'm just exhausted. So, I can't believe I've got 5 subscribers on Twitch. Thank you so much, guys. Psycho, the tip about using Prime to subscribe, legendary. I appreciate that, buddy. So. Do I have a Dice Gods PNG? I have many Dice Gods PNG, but no, you're not having it. I have so many Dice Gods PNGs, you wouldn't believe. It's amazing. No, thou shalt not. So. How can you grab yourself a copy of the 2-player starter set? Let's talk about the 2-player starter sets for a second first. Yes, you have many models on the table and those little scribblies. Yeah, up to 6 or 7. It's quite scary. It is quite scary. Right. So we're actually I'm going to start by looking at the goblins because apparently there's much hype. So those are the goblins. You have the big scary guys and you have the, and then the little scribbly guys that sort of attack together, and it's very much a horde army, which isn't a common thing inside of Eldfall. So you're going to end up with more of these guys on the table than you will for the other factions. These may end up with 5 or 6 miniatures on the board, or sets of miniatures on the board, whereas another faction will end up with 4. But then you're going to have less activations per miniature, and it's kind of balanced around the concept of activations and stuff like that, which is kind of cool and works really nicely. But yeah, Shampoo, are we excited? Cool, Psycho, glad that you're still with us. Starting to look like Infinity. Well, starting to look like Infinity. Not even slightly. 7 miniatures in Infinity. When was the last time you did that? Anyway, so what we're going to give away is one of the 2-player starter sets, and there's 2 2-player starter sets. We have this one. So what you have in here is Empire of Soga, which is the best faction. This is very much of the Asian persuasion. What you've got inside Soga is violence. They're the most straightforward kind of violent faction. There's a little bit of magic. There's a little bit, but mostly stabby, pokey. They're on the left of that little picture there. And you have bowmen, and you have stabby people, and the one at the sort of front, with the sword at the back, that's an Onataoshi. She's an absolute beast. I think she's killed most of the stuff that I've used. On the right, you have the Helion League. So knights in armor, think paladins. So they work together. They have to buff each other and support each other to do the thing. That's kind of their shtick. So that's kind of cool. They're my second one. So and a sec, what have I missed? How to play videos. What videos? Problematic videos. Just get next wave, man. Ain't even here. They did their own series. Oh, sorry, yes. Oh, how to play videos. Yes, there is a how to play video. I was like, what do you mean? Why are you asking me how to play? How to play a video? Mike, surely you must know. I get it now. Yes, well, that's one of the other things. I'm going to talk about that one in a second as well. They did their own series, which was okay-ish. Agreed, Neil. It was one of those, okay? Oh, okay? That's right. It confused some areas more than others. Hang on. I'm going to come back to that. The other starter set is the Sand Kingdoms versus Coalition of Thenian. Now, over here, actually, you've got the big blue guy. That is a water elemental. Both of them have a water elemental in, and therefore sort of cooperative narrative play that you can do with these starter boxes. So you don't have to learn sort of competitively against each other. You can learn with the big watery thing and go stabby with that. So in the second box, you have Sand Kingdoms, who are very much kind of that Egyptian type feel. They've got that very pharaoh-y, duty kind of Far Easty type feel, I guess. And they conjure stuff. That's their whole shtick. They are very much the conjuring faction. They bring other things to life. and then send those into combat, and they're very, very squishy. If you can get close to the leaders of Sand Kingdoms, things tend to go very wrong very quickly. And then on the left we have the Coalition of Thenian, so Murder Elves. That is their whole thing. They are very much Murder Elves. They can do things like walk through walls, they can stab people in the back, they're assassins and cutthroats and all that kind of stuff. So that is what my wife plays, and it will never stop hurting. So yeah, there you go. Those are the two player starter sets for your viewing delight and pleasure. Also have different designs. They do. It's not bad to buy both. I have done both. Yes, I recommend buying both. Or getting both. Winning both would be better. You could ask one of your community members to give you an intro. You could. Well, at the moment, Blob, that is all that we're going to get for the Gobbos. So it might actually be just one box, because the Goblins and another faction called the Oni are not, at this point, being expanded, from what I understand. So yes, you buy the box and you're done. But Murder Elves are horrific. They're about to get another expansion. In fact, the cat, the fox cat woof dog thing, meow thing I just showed you is actually part of the Murder Elves faction. And the box that I showed last week with the new 3 miniatures, also Murder Elves. Can't seem to find it if there's more than 4 Murder Elves. So what you want to look for is the Wayfarer box. Oh, my brain's going to completely sort of fail me. Slayer Dragoon is the name of the cat monstery thing. That is part of Murder Elves, part of Thenian. So there are more. There are currently 6 as of the... So it's pre-order now for another 3. So by the end of January, you'll be up to 9. Larkbeard, no problems. It's good that you're here. I appreciate you just hanging around. It's very kind. You don't have to, you know, hang out. I'll just feel sadly neglected over here on my own. It's fine. Queen's Blade Pack. That's the exact one. So that's coming out. You can pre-order that now, out in January. Very, very cool set. Love that very, very much. So, how can you grab yourself... So I'm going to take this away from you before you get in your head. How can you grab yourself a copy? Well, there's 2 ways over the course of December that you can grab yourself a copy. One of them is quite time limited, and the other one you've got a bit more time on. So, the more time limited one is that on live streams, so this one, hopefully when I paint or hobby on Thursday, next Monday and the following Thursday, if you subscribe on Twitch, if you become a member on YouTube, or you sign up on Patreon, or you do a super chat, then you'll go into the pool to win a free copy. Now, the way that will work is you'll be able to pick either of those 2 starter sets, and it'll be shipped to you from Free Company, courtesy of the Dice Gods, for being a wonderful human being. So you'll even be able to choose which one you get, and I'll help you choose. We'll have a whole discussion. It'll be brilliant. So, super chats, becoming a member, becoming a Patreon, or subscribing over on Twitch. So we've already got 5 subscribers on Twitch, so they're all into the mix straight away. Sorry, 4, because I don't think I can give it to my wife. There are limits even I won't go to. So there's 4 over there. If you're an existing member, on YouTube or on Patreon, and you upgrade your membership to something higher, then you'll get entered as well. But apart from that, standard super chats, basically. Yes, this live stream counts as well. And you can enter as many times as you want. I'm ambivalent to how many times you do it. You go crazy, it's absolutely fine. Excuse me. Oh, that was bad, sorry. And I will be drawing it at the first couple of weeks in January. And I'll contact you, contact the winner. We'll do a winner's video. And you get to pick, and we'll ship, and it'll be great. So that's the first way, live streams. So I'm actually back home to the UK later this month for a period. So there will not be many live streams around Christmas and into New Year. And I'll be back in January. As many times as you want, Craig's. Go, Blob. go for your life. So yeah, you've got these, I think, 4 streams that you get the opportunity to go crazy. Need to see some reps on Twitch. Yeah, okay, it'll happen. So, oh, thank you very much, Neil. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's very kind. And the second way that you can win is during the month of December. How many entries do I get for purchasing Dicecles clogs? Asking for friends. Well, seeing you won't actually be purchasing them from me because I don't make any. None. You want to go off and make yourself Dicecles clogs and dance around your living room in nothing but Dicecles clogs? You keep that to yourself. As long as you're happy, I'm happy. If you're happy, I'm happy. It's absolutely fine. I just don't need evidence. Thank you very much. That's very kind, Neil. Thank you very much. Second way that you can win. Second way you can win one of those boxes is there'll be a number of videos coming out during the month of December for Eldfall. The first time that you comment on it, you'll be entered into the draw. If you are, thank you. If you are a member or a Patreon, that comment will count as 3 entries. So if you're a member, you do it 3, get 3 automatically straight into the pot. And those will be 2 separate things. The ones from the videos that will be on the channel, that is a gift from the guys at Free Company. They'll be supplying that, and they will just send it to you wherever you are in the world and give you all the stuffs. And yeah, you get to choose which one you want, and they'll send it through to you. If you win either of those things, and you sell me clogs, man, Shampoo. Thank you very much, Shampoo. That's very kind. I can't sell you clogs. I don't know. Are you a farmer? Do you need clogs? I mean, the world probably needs more clogs. I don't know. You're a blob. Dear Lord, thank you very much. Thank you, guys. That's incredibly kind. I don't know how many Danish krona there are on a euro, but that's a lot either way. Thank you, gentlemen. That's incredibly kind. I got to give everybody thumbs up. If you already own, thank you. That's incredibly kind. If you already own a Eldfall starter set, then we will sort something else out to an equivalent, basically. So whether it is pre-ordering the new stuff when they come out or whatever, we'll talk about it. We'll sort something else out. So even if it's just shy of €5, well, thank you very much. That's very kind. So even if you already own Eldfall, you can get more stuff. Oh, just shy of 7, even better. Well, thank you very much. That's awesome. So yes, you have these opportunities, and then you can win the stuff. And you too can join in on the funsies, and then when the new stuff comes out, so we're getting a release for the 4 main factions. So those 4 factions that are in the 2 boxes, Thenian, Helion, Soga, and Sand Kingdoms, those are the 4 main factions in the system at the moment. They are all getting a 3 miniature reinforcements box between now and May of next year. So you're going to get new stuff coming out for that. So that's kind of cool. And oh dear Lord, Kaz. Thank you. Close to, yeah, I'm keeping a tally. Love of God, man. You have no idea how tempted I am. I actually connected with the head of marketing for Atomic Mass Games today. And when that happened, there was a moment where I was like, oh, Kaz is going to be so happy. Dear Lord Psycho, you've really got all the way. You're doing Operation... That's awesome. That is awesome. For those of you who don't know, Operation Greif, that was Germans dressed up as Americans during the Battle of the Bulge. Very thematic. Oh my God. What? Yeah, Neil, am I going to even get into Legion? Well, I have a number of things that... Kaz, that is incredibly kind. Thank you, buddy. There are a number of things that need to go before I can even consider that, before that happens. But am I tempted? Yes. Of course I am. Have you seen the miniatures? Mwah. Would it be the return of the clog? Clog Strikes Back? Surely. I think you missed out there entirely. A new clog? No. How am I an Englishman? I am for miles around, I am the most not cloggy person, and I am talking the most clogs tonight. This is all your fault. So, yes, if you want to win Eldfall, that's how you do it. Super chats, subscribe, become a member, blah, blah, blah. On here, the final clog. The final clog? You mean the last clog? Surely. Power of the clog? Anyway. And then look out for those videos that will be dropping. So we're going to do a review of the Queen's Blade, unboxing, builds, talk about that. A review and a discussion of Thenian as well. There's going to be another video. And then that all comes together with Final Empire Riff. Yeah, I don't think it will be. Anyway, explaining it doesn't make it better. The Clog Unleashed. I sit here talking about it. Anyway, that leads us to nicely, starting around January, all being well, we're going to start doing our Let's Play Eldfall Chronicles. So we're going to talk about how you played the game. Think of it in the same way as we've done with Infinity. And that's going to run me probably through to the point where we do one for Flames of War, where Early War comes out. So we're going to do one for that too. And we shall all be joyous. Darth Cloggy, you are now a Sith with style. Of course I'm going to be I'm never going to be a Sith. I don't know. Sith, me. Does this look like the face of a Sith? Not really. Anyway. Don't even play Legion, but all aboard the peer pressure train. Excuse me. All aboard. Thank you, Blob. I appreciate you jumping in on pressurising me into doing a thing. I feel lucky. Is that the word? I feel bullied. That's also probably the word. Anyway. Oh, you got the Wheelie Grievous. That's cool. I saw that miniature and the other ones that are coming out for it as well. And I was like, that's kind of cool. I'm kind of liking that. That's going to kind of be fun. So, yeah. I like it very much. It is very cool. And I have loved it greatly when I've played it, to be honest with you. Oh, that's the wrong one. But I talked about that story before. We're not doing that story yet. Anywho, so that's where we are with Eldfall. There's going to be some good stuff coming up, and then we're going to do the intro game, the sort of Let's Play and all the rest of it in the start of through January. That's going to be coming out. We'll talk about the theories, principles, the basics, all the rest of it. So that's going to be coming your way, and then we're going to do some faction focuses about how they play and what they do and what they don't do. Excuse me, and what you need and what you don't need and all that kind of stuff. So it's a great system, and it's a really crunchy system that plays really quickly, and the more you play it, the quicker it gets. And I really appreciate that. I really also appreciate the fact that you can play it competitively or non-competitively, that you can be, hey, Nightwind, dear Lord Nightwind, thank you very much. That's incredibly kind. Thank you so much. Welcome. That's fab. And but yes, that's brilliant. Thank you very much, guys. Yeah, thanks. That's cool. Oh God. Straight away with the blimmin'. I don't know if you can hear, but there's cackling going on over there, because the first thing you do is you put that mic, anyway. Put my face up, so my wife has found you amusing, Nightwind. Thank you so much. That's incredibly kind. Don't forget that if you look back on the posts on the channel page, you will find a link to the Discord. Come join the Discord. Come and join this band of reprobates, and you know. Speaking of buying new toys, what's everyone got ordered this week? What you're waiting for? Do you know, I don't have anything. I was so good. Kaz, no, don't be... Oh, God. A new Red Eye and new Achilles. You just went in there with the I don't want friends starter pack, didn't you? I love it. like a local resale shop. All still in full. Yes, Blob, you did. For a stupid price. So Blob's actually already in on Eldfall. He's already joining the party. Because, you know, he likes to come and sort of follow along with the group, which is nice. I do appreciate that. I bought Battletech Mercenaries, Battletech Aces, and a bunch of other Battletech. Yeah, still look at Battletech, and there's the temptation still stands. The temptation still massively stands, I have to say. My goodness, there's 31 people watching across the various platforms. Thank you. Thank you for joining. This is very cool. Ooh, are we repatriates? Reparate? What? It sounds like you can get a cream for that, Kaz. Probably best not to have it. I know what it means. Must be something fancy. Oh, yep. Was that you? Yeah, it is you, Nightwind. I take it. That's just joined Discord and choop across the screen. End of Escalate. Yes, everybody. So everybody. This weekend, I've been running 2 escalation links. One for Bolt Action, one for Infinity. Nearly 30 players between the two. They all just wound up this week. In fact, over 30 players across the two. They both just wound up this weekend. So there was much drama and excitement. It is you, Nightwind. Thank you for joining the Discord. I appreciate that, buddy. That's very kind. So yeah, that wound up this weekend. That was very cool. I came 4th in the Infinity one, which was... It ended up... It was difficult, actually. The last round that I had was against a very good friend of mine. We call him Monk. And we played our game. And I bought what I thought was a meme list. It's going to go up for members. Actually, I'm going to do a video review of it and a discussion about how it went. Frost, you should start a new gaming system because that's what we're here for. We're here because if we all do it, then it's normal. And if it's normal, then there can't be a problem. Right? That's how this whole shtick works, right? Anywho, so how do I have time to sleep, man? I don't. Sleep is for the weak and for the people who don't want to sort of catch fire every 30 seconds. I should have an insane amount of World War I Prussians, Germans en route. For what system, Neil? I've not seen any World War One. What scale as well? What system? I've not seen any World War ones. I'm interested. I'm genuinely interested. I have to say. Oof. I'm going to hold on as long as I can because my voice is shot. Google if I can get Eldfall in Australia. Well, Frosty, win the competition. There's 2 ways you can win it. You can upgrade your membership or super chat in lives, or you can just comment on the videos that are coming over the next few weeks on Eldfall and you'll get one sent to you for free. I'm not seeing a problem. Just throw it out to the gods of probability. They're kind of related to the dice gods. We're kind of on speaking terms. But yeah, definitely. Don't curse me, I'm lovely. It was a real, I have to say the escalation links were very, very cool. Yeah, there's a lot of incredibly cool games, and it was really nice to see the community. I get emotional. It's really nice to see the community coming together. Like the last couple of rounds for for the Bolt Action guys. 4 of them ended up at one guy's house having the games there over the weekend. And these are people that hadn't known each other 8 months ago, so it was really nice, you know. You got Zombicide White Death for £6 Nice. A lot of people have talked to me about Zombicide, and I have resisted so far. So, you know, God of course has Gobos, Samurai, Murder Elves, Onion Knights. It does, Blob, and it is glorious for it. Let's normalise the addiction. It's not an addiction if we're all the same. It's just standard. 28mm 0 hour. Interesting. Interesting. Is RNGs associated with the dice gods? Yeah, he's kind of like a sub-deity. Keep him in a box under the stairs. Anyway, I am still considering Conflict 47. Yeah, I'm avoiding the Conflict 47 page on the Warlord website because I already have a load of Bolt Action. You're doing a whole playthrough for it. Put that in the Discord when you do, please. I would be interested, and I know people that would also be interested. So, also going into Blackout. Just need to pick a faction. Yeah, Blackout does look cool. No, don't do it, Machine. Leave BattleTech alone. So for a very long period of time, I was massive. Like MechWarrior Online was my main thing, and I played. In fact, I played MechWarrior 2, and all the way up. Huge fan of it. All the rest of it, have avoided getting involved in any other media because I don't need that kind of thing that's going to draw me in. And I've avoided BattleTech completely because I don't need another system that's that crunchy. And I know the newer one is less crunchy, but I don't. No. Just no. So no. Leave it alone, Machine. Step away. You live too close. It's too much of a threat to my sanity. Back away. Ever seen Planet Shark? No, I have not. I do have an irrational phobia of sharks. So that may not be a good thing. Anyway. So, yeah. No, I look forward to seeing that one, Neil. 0 Hour. It rings bells, but I've never seen the miniatures and stuff. So, but I have too many systems already. I don't need more systems. I need less systems. I need to rationalise. It's a little indie skirmish game about sharks. Absolutely would be me in hell. That would absolutely be me in hell. I have to say. 1 second, chaps. Hello, back in the room. Oh, slowly dying over here. I'm fine. It's all good. It's all good. Shark infested clock. What? Why? Why would you want shark infested? Dear Lord. Right. But my good friend Mike asked about Warcry. Eek. Really? That's a conversation you want to have with me. Where am I at with Warcry? Oh, I love Warcry in so many ways. I absolutely adore it. It is a really nice system. It's really fun. I think the team behind it is fantastic. Full disclosure, I get on really well with Hoopu. There's a possibility at a certain point in the near future that Hoopu and I will be doing a project together. Possibly. So I think the people behind it are brilliant. I think that the concept behind it is really interesting. I love the dice system. I think the magic system is interesting. I think the factions are really cool. I'm a huge fan of Scions. But that's the issue. There's just this, and it's not something that I've not said to Corvus Belli. I have actually, in fact, in the last week, in the last few days, I have said to people that you would recognise from Corvus Belli that I am having big issues with the Seocast in it. When it's Unical, when it is like, I mean, the new officers, because we can do this while we're here. The new officers just dropped for Scions, and there is nothing wrong with that. That is an incredibly clean, beautiful sculpt. It went together in a matter of minutes. And, you know, a puppeteer, I love, see, it's things like this. So this is a puppeteer. And I think I showed the other week, we had the husks, which are zombies. And if you kill my husks, if you get rid of them, this little murder machine can, at the start of her turn, go and bring them all back to life. And they pop back up on the board. What's not to love? It's just great. But then, in the same box, we had the tutor. This is Seocast. Now this turned up snapped. This one was snapped off. And the detailing on it is just a bit softer. It's just not as clean. It's not as crisp. And I mean, these are very good Seocast, I have to say. In all fullness disclosure, the Seocast that I got this time is the cleanest that I've had. but it's just a pain to work with. It's a hassle to work with. You know, you can't just file it off. The small points that you need to work on the Unicall, you can just file it off and it's fine. It's done. But Seocast, you just can't. You're working a lot harder with it, and it's just not as nice to finish. Oh, thank you, Frosty. Thank you for the upgrade. In you go into the thing to do the thing. Is, you know, we're likely going to be running the first official event for Zero Hour next spring. Neil, outstanding work, buddy. That's very cool. I need details. But like, we got Samara. Now this miniature has received a lot of airtime because in the dungeon crawler, Samara was female, and now Samara is male. He has transitioned through the story and through the narrative, and it all makes sense. But like, he has wounds on his chest from the transition that he's been through, and there's a whole discussion that happens around it. But it's in Unicall. Sorry, it's in Seocast. And like, you can see the bones on his wings here are just not... They had a lot of flash on them, and I've done my best to clean them up, but they're still a bit scrappy. And there's a couple of bits on him that are just a bit feathery. And like, the face is not as crisp necessarily as I'd expect from... It's a little bit smudgy, it's a little bit soft. And you kind of have that. You have that with Warcrow. You've got these beautiful designs, and you see the designs, and you see them painted, and then you get them in your hand, and you're like, it's the miniature at home. You know what I mean? I want this one with them. Yeah. It's just not as crisp and as solid as I want it to be. And it is other little details, like, I was just talking about the quality of the paper and stuff of these for Eldfall. They are really, really good. These, even without sleeves, can take up to some use. They will take some use. The ones that come in from Warcrow are just a bit... Hang on. Let's not talk about the theory, because I happen to know I have some down here. Just get one at random. It's just... They're just softer, and they're thinner, and it's just... I end up feeling with the Warcrow stuff sometimes, especially when I have stuff that is let's have a look. These are even worse. These are more egregious. These are the newer ones. When I get the stuff from Corvus Belli, you get stuff that's wrong. You get stuff where the details are smudgy. That's Seocast. The card stock is a bit sad. And then you look at the price point for the game. It's a premium price point. And like, this miniature, I'm good with that. It is crisp, it is beautiful, it is just hell yes. I will pay what you want for that. I'm happy with that. But the Seocast mixed with the soft, cheap cardboard, it just gives me pause. And it's one of those things I wanted to get through the whole learn to play Warcrow series of videos, and the reason I've kind of stumbled with that, and it started and it sort of slowed down, is because I got small miniatures, and those miniatures turned up and they were not what I would recommend people buy. And that's the thing with this. I put stuff on here that I would put my hand in my pocket and give you money for. And I'm not certain some of the Warcrow stuff that I would. And so, Mike, when you said on Discord, you know, like, it's not taking off in, I think it was North America, somewhere in the US. There are whole sets of miniatures in this range that will do that. And I have no answer for it, because there isn't an answer for it. While it remains Seocast, while they put the price point where it is, with Seocast product, and you've got to find out, it's a crapshoot what you get, you know. These guys, these two, the little eyeball dude, the tutor and the puppeteer, these were in the same box. So I got one Unicall and one Seocast in the same box. while it is a crapshoot as to which material you're going to get, while they keep screwing up and putting the wrong things in the box, I've got a set of miniatures I can't complete at the moment, arquebuses, because they didn't have the right arms with them. And just this cheap cardboard on the cards. It's really hard for me to push it with the energy that I want to, because as soon as you get past that, as soon as you get past the material, I'm there, you know? It's like the pictures on the screen and the gameplay and everything, absolutely here for it. But predominantly while there's effing Seocast in the box, Yeah, exactly, little stinker. That Feudum Army paint I posted, I really enjoyed, but with the broken off bits and large gaps, it broke my heart. Another good friend of mine, he also got Feudum, and in their first transport to their first game, multiple ones broke. How am I supposed to have a conversation with you? They do. Problem, the work that you've done on those Feudum miniatures is absolutely stunning. And the way that you've produced them, they look beautiful. You know? And that they look as they should do. But how am I supposed to... It's not even what you guys think, it's how I feel about myself. How am I supposed to say to you, hand on heart, you should invest in this system. I think it's great. Knowing that if you stick it in a box to take it to a game, which you're going to do, there is a very much larger than 0% chance that stuff's going to break. Even if you're careful. That's a problem for me. If you are going to have... If you're not going to be able to use them for the purposes they're for without them breaking, I don't know. And as I say, I have raised this with Corvus Belli in the last week, and the response was... Comment when I'm painting them up. The work you're doing is lovely, and I'm going to paint my Scions so that we can play. And we're going to play. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to keep buying the Scions. I do keep buying the Scions. I've got the ones for December's pre-release are already on order. It's definitely a game that I'm going to be playing, but could I turn around to you guys? Well, the thing that upsets me, or the thing that keeps me up at night, metaphorically speaking, is the idea that I say to you, you should buy this, it's brilliant, and you get it, full of that excitement and that hype, and you open the box and you go, oh. You know? I went metal with Warcry like Infinity. I'd be happy. Yeah, I hear you, little stinker. I hear you. And their response was very non. I got a response. It wasn't committal. It was kind of like, well, we can't do it overnight. Okay, but this has been a problem for over a year. So this isn't overnight. So where are we? So I don't know, Mike. That is the answer to your question. I think I will finish out the series because I want to. I want to have it out there. I want to have it done. The How to Play Warcry series. But I don't like putting out... Like with Infinity, I will occasionally, especially when Corvus Belli absolutely faceplants with a rule or a concept, or they do something dumb, I'm happy to turn around and go, Corvus Belli have done something stupid and dumb and they shouldn't have done it, and this is why. I'm happy to do that. But with Warcry, it feels... I think because I've spoken to some of the people behind it, you see the love and the energy and the passion they have for the system, and then somebody upstairs is making a decision and absolutely screwing the pooch on it. And I wish they'd stop. I just wish they would let the system be as good as it can be, do the whole damn thing in Unical. Say, terribly sorry people, this wasn't the way we should have done it. And, you know, yeah. And don't at me, I know that they've invested money in Seocast machines and training and blah, blah, blah. I get all of that. But if sticking to your guns on that is going to cost the success of the system, then it's not worth it, is it? So I wish they would... oh, dear God, Blob. Thank you very much. That's incredibly kind. So you've bought everything, but you want extras. Is that where we are? Excuse me. Oh my goodness. How come you aren't playing Dystopian Wars or Armoured Clash from Warcraft Studios? They're on your side of the world. Dystopian Wars doesn't interest me. I've looked at it multiple times, and every time I've looked at it, I'm like, ooh, boats. And Armoured Clash. Let me refresh my memory where we are with that. Let me refresh my memory who Armoured Clash are. Boop, boop, boo. Armoured Clash. Oh, it's this guy. These guys. I've seen this. I have definitely seen this. It's kind of a steampunky type aesthetic, isn't it? Yeah, epic scale, like steampunk type thing. It didn't wow me. You look at something and you're like, that's fine. I don't invest money in, that's fine. To be honest with you, that's the issue I have with those. To be honest with you, Mike. I'm not saying they're bad systems. I don't know enough about them to say what they are, but they didn't absolutely blow my skirt up, so therefore I don't spend the money on it. Nope. Good job, Blob. Not a big complaining guy. I love the minis when they work and they paint beautifully, but I personally have cut down what I'm buying from Warcrow drastically with Seacast. I'm eagerly awaiting a change. Excuse me. Little Stinker, you are not the only one. I know 8, possibly actually more, people now that either have not or have bought into and stopped buying Warcrow because of Seacast. And I've told CB that. I've said, look, I have names. You know, these are customers, and some of them are people that spend like they're trying to get rid of an inheritance. You know, like they're trying to avoid tax. You know? Well, Blob, that is incredibly kind. You're still going in the box. Live with it. I feel like that made a major impact to why I didn't pull the trigger on Warcraft. My group has a handful of players. But we don't want to overly invest. Kaz, it's a story that I hear so many times. We looked at it, we loved it, but... And there is no way that I can fault it. One of my very good friends over here, he bought the CNN box and was like, yeah, hype, hype, hype. And then he got it and went, ooh. So, Eldfall versus Warcrow. As a system, which one wins? Eldfall. For me. Yeah, did you see how quick that was? So that comes off the back of where I like to invest my time and what I like to do with my hobby. I like things that are crunchy. I like things that you can really stick your teeth into and you can play around with and you can adjust and you can customize and you have depth and you have options and you have choices and all that kind of stuff. And Warcrow does have that. It absolutely does. It's a bit of a bigger scale, which, you know, I prefer the smaller, tighter groups, but Eldfall out of the two, for me is a much more. I have more options of ways that I can play, and the miniatures. I am hype to open the miniatures. It is kind of when they come in, it's like, ooh, you know, when we got the Queen's Blade the other week, kid at Christmas. I'm like, ooh, ooh, no, you're going to open it on the stream. Boom, I want to open it now. Yeah, I know you want to open it now, but you're going to wait. I don't want to wait now. I want to open it now. I could look at it now. I'll show you guys later. Nope. And that was also a bit of confidence from me, actually. So I was like, no, you're going to open it on the stream. And then if it's screwed, if it's not good, you can be like, no, it's screwed and it's not good. It didn't happen. And the glass is cola. It's 0 sugar cola. Because the bubbles help my throat, and I always drink cola anyway, it's kind of my thing. Only a small few people in my area bought into Warcraft, and actually they are only really playing the Adventures campaign, no skirmish play. I think the skirmish game is good, I think it's really good, I think it's a lot of fun, I think it's light and it's fluffy, and it can be narrative. It has the capacity to be quite crunchy, but it's a game about movement, it's a game about tactical control and all that kind of stuff, and that's really, really cool. I like that kind of thing. It's the reason I like Warcrow, for the same reason I like Bolt Action, because it's not as heavy and as weighty as Infinity, as Eldfall. It is nice to have systems that I can step back from the day-to-day and be like, okay, I can do something a bit fluffier. And you do that with Warcrow, and I like that for that reason. Don't put the blob in the box. You belong in a cell, I don't about a box. Anyway, I mean that in the nicest possible way. Shampoo, I have no clue what both systems do. Are they similar at all? No. No, they're not. They're not. When I play Eldfall, decisions that you make feel like they have real weight, and you have a wide range of different things you can do. You have a lot of tactical choice before you, and it feels like a story unfolding in front of you, because you have this very small group of adventurers and they're going to do a thing, and then you have your schemes and you have your missions and you have your stuff off the back of that. So it does feel very much like that. Much more D&D, much more story adventure type stuff. And I love that. Warcrow feels to me, when I've played it, more like a pseudo board game with more war game elements, and it's a lot about positioning, and yeah, it's a lot. It's a bigger game, you know, your 20-25 miniatures rather than the 4, and yeah, it's a different sensation. I would say Warcrow, there are less weighty choices to be made because you have more units that you can lose, you have more options and stuff that can die. So yeah, it's a very, very different system, is my view on that one. I'm waiting to see if Warcrow moves away from Seocast before I move into it. Not that I have the budget for more games, but still. Nightwind, there is no way on this earth I'm going to say that's a bad call. 1 second. Right, back in the room. Adding to the list of brought Roko, the Seacrest turned me off by more. Yeah, Frosty, that is such a common response, and it's infuriating. It's just this really cool system, and it can be really fluffy, and it can be really good. And you know, also the price is a bit much, and I don't know. There are so many ways they've screwed up, in my opinion. But my opinion is they only just adopted it. Observer, Eldfall does for me what I was hoping Warcrow would, but didn't. Blob all day long. Spent so long with Warcrow saying, okay, it's not like Infinity. And so many people went, but I wanted Infinity Fantasy. Chose Infinity because of metal over other games. I own plenty of hard plastic minis, but everything else I've liked less. Metal is equal. Yeah, no, I can get that blissful measure. I can absolutely get that. I really can. It's definitely a thing. You know, the quality of the miniatures is important. I'm sorry, guys. I think about past, I'm going to make a run for it because my voice is failing and starting to get painful. And I have many videos to record for you all, so I need to give it a little bit of a cuddle rather than just letting it explode. So, if you want to get any more entries in as members or super chats or subscribers over on Twitch, then please do. Please do, just before I disappear. But my wallet doesn't like what you're telling me. We don't need happy wallets. We need happy people that own wallets. Happiness should be yours, not your items. Always prefer metal, but I'm old. If I had the option, I would have a lot more Unicorn. I think Unicool is a great material. I think sometimes it can be a little bit brittle, but I can get around that. You just treat it with a degree of respect and it's fine. What I really like about Unicool as a material, sorry, it seems like every blooming stream I do this, it's that I can hold a large miniature like this between 2 fingers, between 3 fingers, for prolonged periods of time, and you don't get the metal floppiness. This guy's going to get painted at some point. Unnamed Stranger. I have checked out Bushido before, and I like the kind of concept behind it, but again, it didn't really like, you know? So this material, Unicool, it's got the beautiful details on it. I mean, look at the detail work on that. It's freaking stunning. There's no two ways about that. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I can paint for hours with it in my hand. The number of metal miniatures, especially tags, the high-end stuff. God, I painted a Magareba Garda once, the big scorpion dudes on Infinity, and the weight of that. Ooh, thank you. Meanderthalensis. Meanderthalensis. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. That's very kind over on Twitch. That was very kind of you. I appreciate that. Yeah, the lighter is nice to work with. Oh, you're about to go home, midnight. That's cool. Timing. Metal floppiness. There's not a lot of metal floppiness of its good stuff. For me, Unicool has downright fun. It is. It's a joy to build. Even if it's done reasonably okay, it's so good. Love that so much. It's such a good... Yeah. Mike, the more I hear you talk about Warcrow failures, the more I think about Warcrow Adventures was a real project. No, absolutely wasn't. Warcrow was the original system that was supposed to drop before Infinity. There's a whole history to this. Corvus Belli, Warcrow, is their name. Warcrow was the original system that should have dropped from Corvus Belli, but they saw there was a gap in the market for a skirmish sci-fi game and thought, we can do that. So they did that. So that's where Infinity came from. Warcrow, the war game, has always been the direction of travel. When you look at the resources they put into this system, it's quite amazing. It's quite amazing the amount of time and energy and money. You know, we were getting leaks well over a year. Not leaks, hype for Warcrow well over a year before it came out. Details, they had new members of staff, they had a new narrative team. They did a whole ground up construction for this. It was very, very, very much the objective. So, you know. Shampoo, thank you. That's awesome. Cheers, buddy. I appreciate that greatly. That's very kind. So no, I think, yeah. Welcome to the Own a War Rig segment. Yeah, it feels a bit that way. I need to put some other stuff up here that you can, you know. But how am I supposed to do the weight and the... I could have done the Murat, I suppose, but that's... Then I'm going to get the I Own a Murat segment. Got to get hooked in quickly by a system. Either the rules or the menus will drag you into bike. That's absolutely true. Sometimes things just fail. That's true, Mike, but the problem is with Warcrow is... seeing it fail because of a decision about material is infuriating. There is no reason. I mean, you could argue the price point's a bit high. That's the conversation I'm happy to have. Buy it from discount stores is way less painful. But to see it failing, not because of the miniatures, not because of the rules, not because of the company behind it, not because of the aesthetic, not even, you know, for none of these reasons. It's not a supply issue. It's not growth. You know, this is a nicely expanding system. We have got a brand new faction dropping next year. There is this lovely pipeline ahead. It's going to die because they used the wrong material. How infuriating is that? It's just, guys, just And we said it from day one. From day one. Ugh. Interestingly, same kind of story was Warhammer Fantasy and 40k. Fantasy came first, but was overtaken by a system with guns. Shampoo, well, it's incredibly kind. I appreciate you joining the party and becoming part of the crew. As I said earlier, don't forget to check out the posts on the channel itself. You'll find there a link to the Discord now, you remember. So please come to the Discord, join in there, become part of the community. It's absolutely amazing to me. I'm so incredibly... oh God, I nearly said the streamer thing then. I need to come up with another word, hang on. Blown away. I'm going to go with blown away. I'm incredibly blown away by how much the members have started to form a community over the last few months. It's just been lovely to see and lovely to be a part of, and incredibly weird to wander into this Discord and people to be talking to each other because of this channel. It's great. It's the dream. I just wasn't sure it was going to happen. You know, you do a thing, you're like, are people going to enjoy it? And then it turns out they do. So that's great. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Yeah, so, I don't know, Warcry. It is always the problem. Clogged by our support. Constantly, Neil. Constantly. And for those, because I know there are several of you who are, Shampoo, well done for making it to the Discord, bravo. For those of you who do have channels of your own, who are creators in your own right, whether that's on Instagram or whether it's over here on YouTube, please share it in our Discord. I want to see you flourish everywhere. And if it's Dice Gods members filling up your rooms and all the rest of it, as it should be. You subscribed for the clogs. I know you did, you clog ho. No, it was honestly the extreme warm welcome and openness to newbies. It's what this channel was founded on, Blob. We are here to make sure that when people come into these communities that they do so and it feels it's a positive experience, because it should be. This is a hobby, it's supposed to be fun, and I see there's so much negativity. Ugh, it's that rant again, you've all heard it. Kaz, have a good dinner. Make me something nice, I need food. You wrote it. Larpbeard was writing an economics paper on Corvus Belli. That must have been an interesting one, I have to say. I'm probably, just to pre-warn you, Larpbeard, I'm probably off in a minute because I'm sick as a dog and my voice is failing. Guardians of the Mounds, Unical, they were so nice. Those Guardians of the Mound miniatures were so nice. I was a little bit jelly. I have to say. But then I got the husks and they were also Unical, and then I've got my puppeteer and she's Unical, and that little... I need more. I need more husks. That's the other thing I need to get, is at least another 2. I need like 3 units of husks, because the ability to go, and we're back in the room. Ooh, Larkbeard is making some miniatures with Unical himself. This is interesting. You need to tell me more about that. I need more information. You may recommend Soup Blob. What I mostly need is some rest, I think. Just some good sleep, because I'm kind of pooped. But, yes. My goodness. Well, we have many, many entries from all the subscribers on Twitch and on YouTube, and the supers on YouTube. Just, Kaz, you're insane. So we have many. There's going to be chicken soup, yes, absolutely, Larkbeard, and yeah, Blob, absolutely, rest, soup, hot drinks. Hopefully I will be streaming on Thursday afternoon. We'll be doing hobbying. I think I'll be working on more of my Shock Army bases, because I'm really digging that at the moment. And there should be 2 videos out this week. And then there should be 2 videos per week for the rest of the month, including over the Christmas period. I'm hoping that with all, my voice doesn't completely die on me. There's going to be some really interesting videos coming up that I want to share with you guys. So look forward to that. But thank you all very much for joining in the insanity this evening. Sorry, I've got to cut it short because of this. And thank you for all that have chipped in and sort of entered already for the competition. Look forward to those videos coming soon. Thank you very much for your time and your eternal support and your companionship. I love hanging out with you guys. It's genuinely disappointing to be going. But I will see you all again soon. You take care. And yeah, have a good night and a good rest of your week. Bye-bye.